back to another episode. It is your host, SB Press. Don't mind the trash in the background, please. It's really loud over here early this morning. Just got to say happy 420. Happy 420. Today I got back my boy, Antoine. We're going to do it right for the 420 today, today, this afternoon, tonight.
Today.
But today we just gonna go ahead and express some 420 stories and stuff back and forth. I guess my first question for you pertaining to 420. This is 420 questionnaire. I guess it would be when was the first time you got high?
Oh man.
How old were you when you first got high?
I think I was about, let's say, 17. I was a late bloomer.
Okay.
I'm an athlete, man, so
Okay.
It's like, we didn't dabble into that stuff until later down the line.
You didn't have any bad influences around you then?
No, I definitely had.
Oh,
some
you
bad
did?
influence,
But
I wasn't
easy.
easy.
Man, this ain't for you.
No, I wasn't easy. Easily motivated to fall in the traps of the normal life of going down that bad road. I love sports too much to even.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? To really tap into that, I kind of just wanted to do it, but then I was just like, all right, man, back to basketball. So yeah, that kind of got lost in the sauce. But yeah, we always, as kids, we always kind of low key, like, we always, smoke a little weed.
We curious.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, you're absolutely right. As
sipped
kids.
a little beer. You always have, my dad always had beer. I ain't never really liked beer, but, you always was curious. What is this?
What does this taste like?
Yeah, what we got going on? So, everything is, as far as pertaining into my funniest moment, getting high, man, is, it's just when I was 17. When I first started smoking, it's probably my funniest one. I don't even want to tell the story. It's too crazy. I'll just say I was laughing a lot.
I guess I can tell my story then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shoot. I think I was freshman high school.
Like the
first time I ever smoked.
Yeah.
It was out of a gravity bomb.
Was you 6?
I was 14. 14. 14. It was July the 10th. July the 10th. Yeah, because it was a childhood friend of mine. His name was Dennis Gilbert. That's how I used to say his name as a kid. He was a little chunky little kid, Dennis Gilbert. But he was cool dudes. His older brother was cool. My uncle, rest in peace. They were cool and stuff like that from playing basketball, going to high school together. So me and Dennis, we naturally just had a bond and a friendship. So it was his 13th birthday because he's a year younger than me, and I'll never forget on the side of the house, him and his brothers, they was just setting it up. They had a bucket of water. I'm like, what the hell are these niggas doing? They cut a 2-liter bottle in half. I'm like, what the hell is these niggas doing? Like, they about to fucking blow up, like, because I'm thinking, like, I'm a kid, so I'm like, they about to, like, what, make some skyrockets and stuff and just blow them up with water? I don't know what the hell they doing. Then I started, seeing these niggas, like, breaking down, the weed. And at that time, I'm 14, so clearly, just from, being around it my entire life, I knew what they was doing. That was my first time. Bomb. Yeah, and, they hit it, but they see me keep on peeking on the side. It's like, well, damn, if you're going to be nosy, you might as well come and get in the business. So I go over to the side and shit, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. There's like, just go ahead and just inhale as we just pull it out of the water. Damn. Nigga, my eyes got super tight, but my lungs got tighter. I could not stop coughing so bad to the point they took the water hose and put it in my mouth, just trying to get me to just like breathe.
They thought you were gonna die.
The worst 5 minutes of my life.
They thought you was gonna die.
Yes, it was the worst 5 minutes of my life. But then after that 5 minutes, it became the most happiest time of my life, dude. It was probably the most giggles I ever had. Right. And like I said, this story, it has a funny beginning, but a bitter end to it because the reason why the date is so significant and how I'm able to remember is because July 10th was Dennis's birthday, and the reason why I had the giggles and stuff and I was laughing is because at the time it was 4 friends, myself, homie Lorenzo, my dog Chubby Chub from the way. I miss that guy. I hope one day he listens to this shit and he understands and we built that bond and bridged that gap, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, it was and Dennis and myself. So we, out there, and we kids. So what do kids do? We bagging on each other. But me and Dennis ain't involved. It was just Chubby and Lorenzo going at each other about each other's moms and shit like that. Kids talking shit. Your mom this, your mom that, blah blah blah.
Man, the your mama jokes. Ooh.
I was laughing, running up and down the street, high as fuck, laughing at these niggas, and
especially back then. Remember,
back then, Your Mama Jokes was the best.
Remember, they had the show,
the TV show, Your Mama, with what's his face?
Mario, was it Mario?
No, wasn't. No, it was Wilmer or something. But he was from that '70s show.
Yeah.
He played in that '70s show and stuff like that. I forget his actual name, but yeah. So a lot of the jokes was inspired from the show and shit like that, and a lot of the inspiration was easy back then. Comedy was a lot more. It was a lot more everyday,
open.
Just like how 106 and Park music was more at an all-time high. Comedy was more just showcase it, and it wasn't provocative, and it wasn't any age can pretty much use it.
Yeah, right.
So, these niggas just shooting on each other's mamas and shit, and I'm just, badass kid running up and down the street. And this is another thing, too, why I brought my uncle into this. So my mom knew I was high, apparently, because, like I said, this is the weekend, so I'm at my grandparents' house. At this time, we stayed out in Chino Hills and shit, so we was out that way. But my mom had to come pick us up from Paramount. And pretty much my uncle gave her a call, like, your son over here done got high with Kirby and Dennis and them and shit. Damn. I'm going to beat his ass. And so I'm in the car laughing my ass off, not even knowing. My mama know the whole time. And as soon as I get to the house,
about to get in trouble.
My dad put the... He beat you good. I think I was a shade darker than I am now, but he definitely beat a shade off me. That's how bad that
I got
was.
A mark on my back, brother.
But yeah, the significance of it all, like I said, it had a unfortunate ending to the story of me first getting high because the next day, the homie Lorenzo's mom passed away. Damn. So it was just so crazy how things went so high and then the next day so low. And it wasn't even like a situation that we can really grasp for. This all happened as we're kids. We out there, we don't even live out there anymore. I'm in high school. These niggas are still in junior high because they're a year younger than me. We all get the call while we're going to school. So everybody's just all over the place because we all were tight. My grandparents stayed in Unit 4. Lorenzo's family stayed in Unit 3. Chubby's parents' family stayed in Unit 2. Yeah. And then it stayed like two houses down.
Close.
So we always, nigga, we play Yu-Gi-Oh cards together. Not like that, but even though I smoked that day, these niggas wasn't smokers like that. And we wasn't smokers like that because we was all athletes too. So that one time didn't lead to multiple times until I got older. I'd probably say I didn't become a smoker until I was probably in my 20s.
20s?
Yeah, because I smoked maybe once in high school. Yeah. And this was after season because we lost, so I was pissed off. And we got caught too. But not like that. I ain't gonna front. In high school I was selling, but I wasn't smoking. I was shooting dice, collecting my money that way, and doing other things to get the weed, to sell the weed to school. And it was just weird how that was, but all that it became more and more stories in my life, which became weed became something that I ended up going into the industry of. Like I said, I used to co-manage dispensaries. So it's just, it opened me up from that one time, from at 14 to now at 30 something, and I'm still even more into Mary Jane than ever before. I just wish I could get those giggles like I used to. That's the only one thing, but shit, I still.
But you got. I think us as we get adults, we gotta find what we really love. Still, you know what I mean. We lose. We get so caught up in this world. We lose all the love for the stuff we used to. I was just thinking on the way here. Does Lonnie got the stickers on his car?
Yes. He has a Charizard sticker and a Chucky doll sticker.
So what does that tell you?
He's still at heart a child. And I feel like this. Everybody has that. It's just some people are either not ashamed to show it or too ashamed to be about it.
You think that, or you think that you get over it? You're an adult now. You don't have to be worried about Pokemon.
Well, a lot of that is his kids too. His kids use his car as a canvas. That's why it's not properly on there.
But still, like, I'm an adult. I'm not about to have no kids put no stickers on my car.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess everybody could be different in a way.
Mm-hmm. But he at a lot of points too, and this is why I'm very versatile as a person too. I relate to a lot of different things. I can tell you, shit, I have a Switch where I play Pokemon.
But Lonnie, the thing too, not to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
The thing too, I want to go back on the line because I ain't trying to like throw Lonnie like under the bus. I want him to understand like it's a difference between because Lonnie got 2 jobs. I mean, you know, he worked hella hard too, and you know what I mean. Got a lot on his plate, so then having his kid, so fucking everybody just you know we have adults that never get out of the habits of gaming. Never get out of the habits of comics. Like you, like look at all this shit, bro. Like, look at all this shit.
I am what I am.
Yeah. So
it's a part of me, but I know how to leave that part to the side.
Right.
At times, I enjoy it, but I don't let it overwhelm and overtake me. Right. It's like I said, like when you come in my room, what do you see? You see a mixture of everything. You see weights. You see colognes. You see. You know, figurines. You see Kobe. You see video games. You see arrangements of a whole bunch of things, yeah. Which sums up a lot of what I am. Not to say that I'm not an adult because I like what I like.
Yeah, because we got adults that's like that really spit out the characters, you know what I mean, all the shit that we loved as a kid. And we get out of that element as we get adults, and some of them just never get out of that element. Even OGs and gangsters, like you know, they never get out of the old habits of being young.
I got an OG right now that still be talking to me about Ninja Turtles all the time, and I be putting him up on game, and he be like, "Man, you young," and I was like, "Man, I learned from the old and the wise." Yeah. So it's like when I become your age, I'm gonna be kicking down that knowledge to people too. And just in different ways of different things, like with the podcast. Even though today is a 420 exclusive episode, I still wanted to be full transparent of breaking down knowledge and making people connect and stuff like that. So, like, with that being said, I think what's not understood is sometimes still having that connection with your childhood can also connect you with your adult, if that makes some type of sense. Sometimes you still have to have a hand in that field to be able to hand out of it.
For real.
So
I just feel like I wasn't like into nothing how everybody else is, like how like he's into like you know the Pokemon. Some people's into Digimon. Some people's into Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
You're talking to that one.
That's what
I'm just very versatile. That's what I call it. Yeah. But I can have a full conversation with you on football, basketball.
About 5-10 years ago, I was that guy that had these figures on my car and all my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we all grow in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We grow and we come to a point to where it's like, all right, I want to be this. I want to look like this. I want to be presented as this.
So, okay, so I hear where it's coming from. It's about presentation and how you want to be, perceived and looked at. Right. And yes,
because your first impression on a lot of people means a lot.
It does. It definitely does. Which is the reason why I say give me the opportunity to show you my character before you judge me on what you see. Right. Because a lot of people, and this is the thing that I get with people in my neighborhood, they'll see me one day and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, neighbor?" Blah blah, blah. You know, cool, because I'm dressed a certain way, and they'll see me another day, not dressed a certain way, and they're a lot more conservative with how they're talking and stuff like that. A lot more reserved. So, and that's just like how a lot of people are. And in the industry that we work in, we come across that all the time. A lot of people prejudge us and judge us based on the industry that we're in and stuff, not realizing we get paid more than some of the people in these offices that get all extra dressed up and stuff.
For real.
So,
you gotta wear suits every day.
So for me, like it gets to the point to where sometimes, and I guess this is the main thing I guess I want to say, sometimes the perception of others shouldn't matter more than the perception of yourself.
Correct.
So sometimes how others perceive you and look at you, it don't really matter. And how you perceive yourself really does.
That's why you gotta love yourself, man. That's what this weed is all about. Gotta love yourself and love others, man. I don't try to tear nobody down. I just try to like understand people, understand where people come from.
And I try to be that gap to understand where I can fill the void of the understanding, if that makes any sense.
Understand it.
Yeah, if that makes any sense. I know somebody out there is gonna correct me, but it's all good. I'm here for correction.
Hey, when you high, you make up words. We did that so many times. I don't know how many times that you did said some shit backwards and the shit still made sense.
Did you ever read that Snoop Dogg book where he had all his own words and stuff?
Oh, the slang.
Yeah. That shizzle dizzle.
Shizzle.
that was something else. What else? Like, okay, so back to I guess the high stuff. Favorite high movie? How High? Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, it's not.
That's a good one.
It's too cliche, but it's like.
I guess so. For me, it's
Half Baked.
Half-Baked.
That shit in.
Half-Baked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
Half-Baked. Half-Baked because I like the comedy from everybody. Everybody was able to stand out, even though it was a Dave Chappelle movie. Everyone stood out.
I feel like it was pretty.
Even the damn
dull,
dog.
Like.
It was. I mean, who didn't want to talk to Samson? I want to talk to Samson. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like Mr. Nice Guy just goes a long way. You know, like
I'm really into. I'm a big movie guy.
But How High? That'll be a strong second. Okay. I guess if you really want me to really say, those would be my twos. My number one would probably be. I can't mash these three together, but it'll probably be like a Friday.
You're right.
It'll probably be a Friday movie.
But see, now I when you talk about high, I'm thinking laughing. Like I want to laugh.
And those parts,
I want to laugh.
I guess that just tells my age a little bit. Yeah. But I guess
for sure.
Those movies
like Friday.
Those movies, like for me, even fucking my favorite out of all the Fridays, even though I know all the words of the first Friday, my favorite one is Friday After Next. Yeah, not next Friday. The second one was good. But Friday After Next for me was.
Which one? That was
one that was security. Holy moly donut shop.
Okay.
It just has the most like cliche sayings in it for me. It got some like really funny moments in it for me. Like it just I don't know what it was. It just did it for me. Yeah. It just did it for me. But I know all the words to the first Friday. Like I'm the most annoying person to watch that movie with.
Quick question. Who did you like better? Did you like Cat Williams or did you I mean obviously you just told me right now, but
wait, because that's a different question.
It's a different question.
A movie and characters are different. About
characters now.
So okay, so give me.
Did you like the obviously Cat Williams wasn't he wasn't the co-star of the movie, obviously, but how they was portrayed in the movie, because Cat Williams took the pimp role on. Not saying from that movie, but because he been doing this shit before that, but obviously that put him over the top.
I mean,
on his pimp role, and Mike Epps, he obviously became Day like forever. Yeah. So it changed both.
Because he became yeah, basically even in All About the Benjamins, he still had kind of that Day kind of mentality and shit.
Who do you think has not saying the most successful, but who do you think got more out of those roles? Who do you think got more more leverage off of that role.
Am I just talking just the roles, or am I
Just
talking about
the
like
role.
the aftermath in their personal lives too? And
we
where
ain't
they're
going
at
personal
now.
life because
Because I'm just saying where they're at now.
Nah,
just from the
just
role
movies.
and where.
Movies,
okay, so then I guess it would be Cat Williams because his stand up exceeded a little bit more than Mike Epps' movies at that time.
Cat Williams had movies and stand up.
Yeah. But at that time, I'm just going to have to go ahead and say that it would be, yeah, at the time it was Cat Williams because he was doing stand-up like a mug. He was selling out. He was doing, like, you know, the Kevin Hart shit.
Right.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what I would say about that one.
But I still feel like Mike Epps, I mean, it did sell out the movies, but Mike Epps was consistent with.
That's what I was saying. If we're going,
he was consistent with it now.
To this point in life,
I think he even got a TV show.
He had a couple. He was on a couple TV shows. Did a few shows. He had some radio stuff going on. He did a bunch of cameos and videos.
How do you balance that? Like,
and then even now,
Cat Williams did have stand up and he did have movies. Mike Epps had maybe not the flashy resume, but I'm pretty sure he did a lot on the back end.
Yeah, I'm sure he had more ties in production. And then not like that, Mike Epps was like even on like talk shows for sports and stuff like that. I seen this nigga on First Take a few times. Like, so, and not even like that. I got a personal story about him. I let him use our gas station bathroom, our personal inside bathroom, and he jumped in a conversation and shit with us and everything. Shot a joke before he left out, and you know, just kept it moving. And like when it comes to like,
was he trying to be funny or was
no? It was just natural him. He lives in the neighborhood somewhere. He usually comes down there sometimes. We have a few other people that come down there, but yeah. I've met him, and honestly, he's naturally funny to where he doesn't have to try to be.
So it goes into one more question before, you know, I mean, you can throw the questions out there for me, but do you think Kevin Hart is naturally funny, or do you think he tried to be funny? I think that's a big question. I'll be thinking like,
I think he's naturally humorous to where you're just gonna laugh no matter what he says. No matter what he says, I think he just built that fucking Last Dragon glow.
My mom hates him though.
I know of a bunch of people that hate him. Like,
my mom hates a lot of people though. She hates Jim Carrey. She hates anybody that's antic.
And Jim Carrey's my favorite white comedian.
But I understand it though. I understand where my mom.
But it's starting to become Bill Burr. Yeah. But yeah.
He's doing too much.
But that's always been his characters, like Liar Liar, freaking The Mask, freaking
But I'm saying like Kevin Hart is taking
Ace
on that
Ventura
role as far as being antic with it, like.
I forgot the name of the movie, but there's a movie where he actually plays a serious role,
like nothing with that,
and it was kind of hard to even take him serious in that role.
Like I said, she don't like this nigga. And it's not like
she's just anti Kevin Hart, huh?
It's just some people like I don't like I didn't really like LeBron James. I didn't even like Kobe at one point.
Oh my!
But see,
God.
I was such a Iverson fan.
Okay, I understand that because I was in that same stratosphere, but I still respected Kobe, and I still was like, all right, Kobe, the Lakers. Bro. I'm like, I fuck with the Lakers and stuff, and Kobe and stuff. But AI is my guy. Like I was that guy. I was that kid. I stood out with that. Everybody had their players though at that time because everybody was on Vince Carter. Everybody was on T-Mac. Yeah. You know,
that's what it was.
There was a lot of different players on Kobe. There was a lot of different players on even like, you know, some like Kevin Garnett. Like a lot of people had their you know, different type of players and stuff.
Kobe really earned my respect though. Like not saying like I didn't feel like he wasn't good. I feel like he was just like, you know, we had T-Mac, so it was like it was the same body.
Yeah, but Kobe was different.
No, he was.
It was more complete.
I didn't see it.
It was championship completed.
Once he won the championships,
not first round and out.
Start to do shit like hit it from like crazy far, buzzer beaters, and doing what Steph doing. And you start to think like,
legacy building.
Yeah, like fuck. He really doing shit that's really like it's fucking hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people have done that. The only people that's done that is Jordan. So it's like you put people on a pedestal, and he came through. So I mean, you cannot say that's not that guy. Mm-hmm. And they trying to say LeBron James that guy now, but
I mean, Kobe had his runs, and it was through injuries to where we didn't make the playoffs. You know, so like. And it was more consecutive years and stuff like that. And we had issues with getting the right personnel in and health. Health is always a big, big problem with a lot of things and stuff. Niggas not smoking enough weed. That's the problem.
Even if they're not smoking,
you know who's going hard?
They could be taking that shit, bro, through like CBD.
Yeah, CBD. You know, like there's other ways of inducing it, not just inhaling it and stuff like that. You know, there's candies.
Right.
Ooh, piece of candy.
I hear it's out there. Ooh, piece of candy. We ain't trying to tell you how to smoke now. We ain't trying to be no bad influence. We just trying to let you know there's safer ways out there. I mean, this weed game is
there's edibles. There's crazy. Very, very again, not everything has to be THC induced. There's things that are CBD induced that can help with migraines, headaches. What else? Back issues, muscle spasms, joint discomforts,
all the shit that
also
you
insomnia, and it's more natural for you. So like, I don't want people to get the misconception like, oh, niggas just potheads and you guys just smoke and just da 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 da. Like, no, I actually am certified, MJ hybrid certified online for this stuff, to where I can go in a legal dispensary and get a job due to the knowledge that I've done, and it was online courses that I had passed and everything like that while working in the industry. But yeah, it's more to it. And so I used to buy a lot of stuff from my grandpa. Okay, so even though, that's exactly what I was about to do. So, rest in peace to my grandfather. He was an individual who, in the last couple years, he had really bad issues with appetite. But the thing we can always get him to eat is candy. So that was one of the things that I guess my mom and my sisters and stuff tried to like introduce him to little by little. But he would feel the side effects, like it was making him feel kind of funny and stuff like that. He'll get the giggles and crack some jokes and shit. But he was naturally like that anyways. But the main thing that I started giving him was I started adding like CBD water to like his coffees or his teas and stuff like that. And that started because he had really bad gout in his feet. He couldn't walk at a certain point in time. That started helping reduce some of the swelling in his feet and stuff like that.
Did he question what was going on?
No, because it was water, and they didn't. To this day, nobody really knew too much of it. Now, I'm just saying it live, but nobody really knew too much.
Right now, nobody ever knew.
Not too much. Like my grandmother here and there, she would see me come with the little bottles and stuff when I'll come stay the weekend and stuff with them at times. But I'll just bring like a small bottle of water and stuff like that, and we'll try to get them drink water here and there. But then like when she's boiling the coffee and stuff, like the hot water for the coffee and stuff like that, I would pour the CBD water in there. And so like it would help. And then like, like he still would want his damn candy because he was a candy man, and that's where I get it from. But yeah, like a lot of stuff that I was trying to introduce him to. Oh, also I was using some CBD ointments and rubs for his feet too, and that also helped with the swelling and the pain and stuff like that. And then at a point in time, because it was very tender for him to walk, it was allowing him to kind of like feel again and more comfort. But then it got to a point to where like, all right, man, you're gonna have to put the wheels on up and sit it on down. Just park this car. Yeah. And even with that being said, like it was still like an issue at that point in time getting his appetite. So then like a lot of that stuff helped. So like it's not all about like just being under the influence, being high, or trying to be, even though it's legalized, being at a bus stop out in the open, rolling a blunt and smoking because that's the cool, quote unquote, cool thing to do. I hate that. That annoys me.
I ain't gonna lie, I do a bunch of shit.
But then that also is like, again, if we're trying to be better, and not saying we're trying to be role models, but if we don't want certain people to reenact certain things we're doing, we have to be mindful of the things we're doing in front of those people.
Right. No, I get what you're saying, and I don't necessarily try to, do it in front of people. I don't even try to smell in front of, you know what I mean?
I got 30 of cologne, so there's no reason why.
You know what I mean? For 9 times out of 10, if I don't, I was probably rushing and probably just on some fast stuff and forgot. But for 9 times out of 10, it's disrespectful.
Yes.
It's disrespectful.
Because you don't know who is and who isn't with it.
Not even just that, bro. You learn from your parents.
Yes.
My dad, kicked my brother out. It was a lesson that wasn't even my lesson. Kicked my brother out because he smelled like cigarette smoke. And it's like you have to respect people's household. If they got kids and the kids smell that shit and they, you know what I mean? He's telling you don't smoke those damn cigarettes. You his son. That's what you do.
Right.
Now, if you gonna still disrespect him and still do it, and then he kick you out and you get mad, bro, then that's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? But obviously, as we grew older, we understood it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get your own shit, do your own thing. But, you know what I mean? We gotta understand when we living up under people's households. When I was up with my sister, I don't even try to follow no rules. It's my sister, like, but it's my house, and everybody got their own personal ways. And when you living with somebody, living up under somebody, you just gotta respect the rules. Mm-hmm. And that showed me right then and there, like, you don't want to go nowhere. Even though you may not even think you smell like smoke or anything, like you gotta take all the necessary steps. Throw the eye drops in, put some lotion on.
I'm about to. You got me thinking of stories. I'm about to tell myself again. All right, so I got another freaking high story. So I used to work for 24 Hour Fitness, and my grandparents stayed. They stayed over in the 30s off of 37th and Western at one point in time.
This one of your funniest stories?
Oh, yes, it was fucking funny as fuck. Hell yeah. So my grandparents, like, like, if they stayed close and they were, like, if my grandfather was alive, and they lived close, and, like, I was saying, even if I was saying I was coming over, or even if I was living with them, they will purposely wait up until 12:30. 12:30 is when the lights go off, the TV goes off, everything shuts down, right? That's it's time for me to go inside the house moment. If because again, you don't want to smell and not like that. I was always good with keeping my smoking away from them when I started smoking. Right. It was a fact that I had hater ass family members that was out in the open with they shit that just wanted to make sure I was in the fucking shit with them too.
Fire with them. No, he smoked too.
Right. I didn't have phone calls like, "Hey Preston, just say you took the bottle. You gonna get a phone call, all right?" Mama and Daddy calling me. "Hey Preston, why you didn't say nothing about taking the bottle? My bad, blah blah blah." It wasn't even me. It was just me covering up for their asses. But they can't do the same for me. They throw me under the bus. But whatever. So.
I mean, we all have our times, bro. Come on. We all, threw somebody up under the bus and, try to get ourselves out of some situations, especially when it came to weed.
Of course.
Or drank or something.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It wasn't mine. It wasn't mine.
Of course. And they know who they are when they hear this. I ain't got to be very specific on which family members it was, but they know who they are when they hear this.
I remember my dad found some weed in my drawer. We owned up to it. We told my dad, we was like, it's our weed. He was like, "I don't want this shit in my house. Y'all know we keep this shit in my house." It's like, well, we're not gonna be in the streets with the weed. That don't even make sense. Why that make sense?
Talking about hiding weed. You remember the old PlayStation 2s with the back compartment?
With the extra space.
Nigga, I'm in high school selling weed. I'm taking weed from. It's just gonna have to be. My dad was that man.
Yeah.
With a plan in all different directions, respectfully. Just gonna leave it at that. I take some weed, right, and at this point, like, I'm trying to be,
little him.
I'm trying to be Lil Tone. I'm trying to be out there. But anyways, I take the weed and I put the weed in the back of the PlayStation.
Smart man.
I go to school. I take some of the weed to school. Sell weed, whatever. I come back home. House all clean, vacuum. Mama got the Mary J. Blige playing and shit in the back. But she mad. Nah, you say it's a good day. Nah, she mad. I'm like, usually it's a good day, but like she got a look on her face like, why do I smell weed in your room? I was like, I don't know. Maybe my dad. I don't know. Maybe my dad had smoked in there. No, he ain't been here all day. He been at work. I've been smelling weed all day. I cleaned this whole entire house. You about to show me where this weed at right now?
She cleaned it.
Nigga, I'm in the house pretending like I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm moving shit around, looking like an idiot. Finally, after an hour and a half, I'm like, fuck it.
Nigga, I'm about to beat you up.
I popped this shit open, and at this time, I'm boxing. I'm not thinking my dad gonna come home and just put hands on me anyways. It was the point to where my mom make the call, and you just shaking until he get there. Yeah. You hear that garage, and the fear just pump more in your chest. Like I like even telling the story right now. I get the chills because my dad still like I still respect him that much. But
know it's coming.
Like, so I finally pop open the back of the PlayStation 2, take the weed out, give it to her.
What'd she say? And
she had the biggest smile on her face, like, I looked everywhere and never would have thought that would have been your spot. Now, what you doing with it?
It's a goddamn good hiding spot, goddamn.
What you doing with it? So I had to come clean, whatever, about that shit.
She was grinning ear to ear.
But my dad, it was the longest car ride we ever took.
So he took you on a car ride?
He took me on a car ride. Oh, he fucked me up.
Yeah.
But I was pretty fucked up on the car ride. The car ride was just basically like...
That's when he spoke to you.
That was like just giving me the game.
Because that nigga, look...
He gave me the game.
He fucked you up first. He didn't say nothing to you.
Yeah.
Did he walk in and hit you?
He didn't say no words. He just walked past my mom in the kitchen. I was already in the living room and shit, trying to like act like I'm doing homework.
And it's his weed.
I'm trying to act like I'm doing homework and shit. And he just comes and just grabs me by the shirt. That was like the easiest thing to do. And just like open chest season with me. Like, and just like.
I know you felt some type of way. You already have fear. He came in and did exactly what you didn't want to.
Hey man, we all have our bad moments when it comes to Mary Jane, and then this is just one of many with mine. Damn. But yeah, like that car ride, he just really like put me up on game on what the fuck I'm doing, how it work, and everything. And ever since then, every weekend, I was with him in the hood all the time. Yes. Man, and I seen a bunch of shit behind Mary Jane, but good, bad, and ugly. But yeah, the one thing I can say, there's a lot of positive that you can learn from it through the negative. Yeah. It's just again perspective. Yes. Everybody's gonna have their own perspective. It gets to the point to where who's matter more, your own or someone else's?
Right, like you were saying. Really don't matter what other people think, you know. What we manifest in our own head is what we're basically spitting back out into the world, and how we move. I definitely feel like if we work hard, it'll come back around, even though it may not come fast enough how you think, but it'll come sooner than later.
And I'm gonna have most people on from like my weed shop days and stuff to talk. I wanted to have my boy Tad on. He's a salt and pause before this and pause after this disclosure. Full pause. He's the salt to my pepper when it came to the weed game. Because my first day, I brought him in with me. Yeah. And he flourished so much, and he hit me up like. Probably like less than a year ago, hit me up because now he's doing big things in the industry from me taking him in. He already dibble dabbed in it before me. Like I don't ever try to like, hey, I put him on, but like I brought him in, and even when he was too bad for his own good, pulled him back in to the point to where now he's running shops and stuff and. Too busy to hit a nigga up to come sit down and do a conversation on everything. That's a good thing. But that's a good thing because I love his flourish and I love his determination through all the grind. Because we didn't been through a lot. Like I said, like through the situation, I didn't went to jail for this shit. Through the shop game and stuff like that. But through the shop game, I met some people in life that like I want to reconnect with because they're just some awesome individuals and stuff.
Even at this game, it's a $1 billion industry.
Oh, I mean, I never said I was disconnected from the game.
You know what I mean?
I never said I was disconnected from the
We
game.
gotta, not even that. We gotta take another level to it, and we gotta be able to. Excel off this time being, coming off of COVID, coming off of not having. They would call it a recession from years from now. Like, you know what I mean? We live in, where we had to, all of our savings is not savings no more.
Yeah,
we got
savings is. I got to check into the savings, so let me go ahead and move my savings to my check-ins. Basically, that's what everybody like. That's what it was, And
I mean, for the most part, the people that's obviously that's good and great. We're talking about the people that's in poverty, like what I mean. The people, the everyday people, like there was no savings before. Some people had to really just grind through. That's why the shit is going on right now. People fucking yanking the gas and shit was going down. It was breaking in the stores.
Nigga, I know you hear it every time, and you at the overnight. I hear it every day, even if I'm in uniform or not, because everybody recognizing me and shit everywhere I go now. But it's like, can you do something about the gas prices? I'm like, the only thing I can do is raise them when she sends me the message to raise them. I can't lower them. I don't have that kind of power. I can just only make them higher. I can't lower them if she asks me to, which we are going to be going down on the gas. So people need to fail to realize that, well, people fail to realize this. Gas prices naturally go up in May anyways before summer. That's when California has the most tourism and stuff, not just for Disneyland and Venice Beach and stuff like that, but for the warm weather.
Hint.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all need to, just like y'all be knowing them seasons and stay ahead of the game on them seasons, y'all need to stay ahead of the game on the economy.
Yes.
How shit working because not even that. I seen somebody doing like the coupon and shit. I need to get up on game, bro.
Dude, I use all my CVS coupons.
Man.
All my CVS coupons.
We gotta stay up on
I just turned in my stamp cards at the shop last night and got me some Moon Rock. Yeah. Happy 420, by the way. Happy 420. Yeah. But like
stay up on game, man. I mean,
just propelling through the situation basically. That's mainly the focus, turning all negatives into positives. Amen. Baby. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time, compadres. Thanks again, Antoine, for coming through.
Deuces.
I appreciate it, and see y'all.